Tired of your old kitchen or bathroom? Upgrade to the home of your dreams with Manny and Courtney from CMK Construction. CMK Construction is Tampa's award-winning kitchen and bath leader for over 20 years. Right now, save $3,000 on a new kitchen and $2,000 on a new bathroom. And take advantage of our no money down and no interest financing until 2026. Imagine, design, build.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A. This is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by CMK Construction, crafting Tampa's most exquisite bathrooms and kitchens.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Friday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Obviously, we have got a lot of stuff to talk about locally. We have a cold front that's going to be coming in, big changes by the middle of next week. But obviously, the big weather story tonight is Tropical Storm Melissa. You know, for months, we've just looked at October as that month that the Caribbean was bound to see development. I mean, there was just no way it wasn't going to happen in some way, shape, or form. The water is some of the warmest water on Earth right now down in that area. It was just a matter of where would something develop, and then at that point, where would it go? And that's still kind of a tricky conversation, but we know a lot more tonight than we knew last night. We knew that the Euro and the Google DeepMind model was eventually going to be right, and that is the way it's playing out. The GFS, the models that were to the right, have now merged with the other models, and there's a ton of agreement. So, you know, that's a good news, bad news, I suppose. The good news is that we at least have a better idea so people can prep. But there's not a lot you can do. If you're watching from Jamaica, or you have friends who are in Jamaica, or Jamaica holds a place near and dear to you in your heart from vacations and whatnot, it is going to be a really just a terrible situation brewing there. And it's going to be an issue for so many reasons, and we'll get into that in just a minute. Before we do want to do, if you're watching on the spot, as always, appreciate you watching. It's great to see y'all on TV. And it's even better if you're watching on TV and following along on social. That way you can ask questions. We can answer the questions. You can have the interaction, the chat. Watching on Frontier 23, Spectrum 17, DirecTV Stream, Wow TV. Lots and lots of spots. The same place that you can watch Tampa Bay Lightning games throughout the entire season. So let's go ahead and do some hellos here. We've got Leisha, good to see you. Debbie, as always, from Spring Hill, nice to see you. Prudy, say hello to your lovely daughter from Spring Hill. Zach, by the way, Prudy and her daughter always come to our neighborhood for our Christmas decorations. It's a yearly tradition. We have our hot chocolate. I believe it's on the 13th of December this year. And we are literally only 8 days away from taking down Halloween decorations and putting up the Christmas decorations, because it is a 2-week process, even a 3-week process sometimes. Yo, Robert, how you doing? Good to see you. Illinois is in the house with Sharon. Robin in Toronto is watching. My guess is in about a half hour, you'll probably be watching something else as the Blue Jays are taking on the Dodgers. Trish in Palm Harbor. Ocala's in the house. Lots of folks in here. Let's go ahead and Dennis, thank you very much. The tooth is actually feeling a little better tonight. Most importantly, I want to thank our staff of IT, of computer guys, of anybody and everybody who's been trying to work on our computers to get them up and running. Normally, the sign of red alert is when on this computer right here, I get a blinking green or a blinking red. And once I go blinking red, Facebook freezes and it just turns into a nightmare. Right now, we are solid green. It doesn't impact TV at all. TV is always on. So again, it's great to watch on TV and follow along on social. But yeah, we got lots of folks in here who are wanting to know how things. We have Nicole in Canada as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So we've got a ton to talk about. Most of it is going to be about Melissa. So let's go ahead and change sources here and see if we stay with a solid green. And we do. So far, so good. Knock on wood. All right, here we go. There's the latest on Melissa. Now, if you remember yesterday, the center of circulation was on the west side of the convection, right? In other words, you had the circle, the tropical storm little logo thing was on the left side, and all the convection was on the right side because it was being sheared. It was being pushed in that direction, the convection was. Well, you're not going to get a healthy tropical system or a strengthening tropical system unless you have it wrap around the center. Think about any tropical storm or hurricane that you've seen that really has some oomph to it. There's that buzzsaw look to it. It's that circular, that wrapping around. And you now are getting that wrapping around. You're actually getting a band that's forming along the south as well. So here, I'm going to go ahead and take this full. It's probably better for you. You don't need to see me anyway. You can see what's going on with this. So Zach's saying if you have a Caribbean cruise, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about cruises coming up in a little while. Michael in Palm Harbor, how you doing? Denise, good to see you. First-time viewer. No, first-time commenter, local viewer. So thank you very much. I'm not sure who that was. Ryan in Denver's watching. We've got Apollo Beach with Judy, Denver and Colorado. No, Ryan in Denver, Colorado is watching. My daughter lives in Denver as well, Ryan. All right, Beverly Hills in the house with Cindy. So there it is. You can see how it's wrapping around now, okay? So we're going to go ahead and go to the latest map. Now, a couple of things here. This is updated every 3 hours, but the track is updated every 6 hours. So we will get a new update on the stats shortly. But the updated track comes at 11 p.m., 5 a.m., 11 a.m., and 5 p.m. How you doing, Ryan? Good to see you. So obviously the biggest concern, and there's just no way around this, the biggest concern is the fact that you have this area right there. That is a 4-day stretch. In 4 days, this storm is only going to move that far. So everything about this situation is just terrible because you have the tropical storm now. It becomes a Cat 2 hurricane by tomorrow and then immediately bumps up to a Cat 4. Bill in Fishhawk, how you doing? Marie in Homosassa, good to see you. Pat in Citrus County, nice to see you. Merritt Island, East Coast in the house. Jeff, how you doing? There's something about this that's irritating to me. I know it doesn't matter. It's kind of inside baseball. But quite often you get a forecast track and the Hurricane Center goes 155 with winds. It happens all the time. Technically, that's a Cat 4 hurricane. It's 156 to be a Cat 5. So, I mean, does it really matter? No. I mean, it's technically 157, I guess. But Emily, how you doing? So, but my point is just make the Cat 5 at 155. It just makes it easier, and I think it's more attention-getting, which is kind of what you want to do anyway. But regardless, you're looking at a Cat 5. I'm just going to say Cat 5, whatever. Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday at landfall. Now, landfall could still be anywhere in that cone of uncertainty. From here, all the way to there, right? So there could be landfall anywhere in Jamaica. But right now, the latest track has it more inland, and we will show you with the models. Thank you, Lisa. We will show you with the models what's that showing shortly, okay? Now, remember yesterday, I showed you this map. Now, this is the spaghetti models map. And there's a good bit of agreement, but there's definitely some wiggle room. There's definitely some models that are east of Jamaica, ones that are right through, ones that are west. So there is some wiggle room. Doesn't necessarily mean we are looking at an absolute guaranteed landfall in Jamaica, but the odds are pretty good. Now, I want to show you this. Remember yesterday when I showed you this model had the storm going like the GFS into Haiti. And we pretty much said we just don't think it's right, but that's the way that the model was looking. And we kind of figured it would eventually trend back with the others. And unfortunately, that's exactly what's happened. I want to run this. Watch how slow, and this is the biggest issue. Watch how slow this moves. There we go. Because solid. So it is not an internet speed issue. All right, so there we go. So I know that. Okay, so it is not an internet speed issue. We should be coming back shortly. I don't know what it is. I just did a speed test because I wanted to check and see if it was an internet upload issue, and it is not. So I'm back to thinking maybe it's the computer that just can't handle the graphics. Anyway, we're almost having the new computer ready. Doggone it. This is not the time for a computer to go down. It's just not. Anyway, let's go back to where we were and see if it freezes us again. It probably will. But my point again is yesterday this thing went north. Now it's just sitting there. It's just sitting. Look at that. That's through Sunday, Sunday night, Monday night. It does not move. So unfortunately, this is on so many levels. That's why this is bad news. We are back in 5 seconds. Oh, I can't wait for this new computer or whatever it is to get fixed. Hey, everybody, we are back. It was not the internet speed issue. I got to do a speed test while we were on commercial break, and the speed issue is still good. So it's a computer. Or it's, I told you, my buddy Paul D over at 13 hacking in here. And he's just kind of laughing to himself. Don't know. All right, anyway, what I was saying, and I'm going to go back and show you this again quickly, because, again, yesterday we were looking at a track that went north. And what's really the worst about this, just check it out here, it doesn't move. I mean, look at that. In a 2-day stretch, it just practically sits there. Now, whether it's going to be there or whether it's going to be in the central part of the island, you know, there's both of which are very realistic possibilities. But at the end of the day, it's going to be sitting there for days on end, which is why you're going to see rainfall totals of over 20 to nearly 30 inches of rain in Jamaica. 22.7 is the last check. So, you know, less for the Dominican, but they've still had flooding in the Dominican. But the problem with Jamaica, they're going to get it from all sides. Wind, 150-mile-an-hour winds. Surge, a 15-foot surge if it makes landfall there. Rainfall, 20 to 30 inches of rain. I mean, it is more than likely, if it makes landfall there, and the models are showing that it will. There's our forecast tonight, looking good. It will be the worst hurricane that we have ever seen in Jamaica in modern history, at least recorded history. Gilbert, back in 1988. So Greg was talking about, he's like, oh, yeah, I think there was this storm back in 1988 called Gilbert. I'm like, yeah, I was actually working. I remember that storm. I don't even know if Greg was born. Maybe he was like 2. Allie, I know, wasn't born. So, like, yeah, I remember that because it was coming, went right through Jamaica, was headed toward Houston. They evacuated all of Houston, and then it ended up curving south and went into Mexico. I remember it well. It was actually my first TV job. It was in Salisbury, Maryland. So that was one of the, 22 inches of rain, Joy, and honestly, I think it could be more than that. So let's go ahead and look at some of the models now, all right? And we will see if the models cause the system to freeze up again. Certainly a possibility, but what are we going to do? I just know that the new computer is going to be here shortly. I'm being told that. In fact, it's being worked on even as we speak. Okay, so, yeah, the reason it's moving so slow, exactly right, I didn't see your question, was lack of steering currents. There's nothing to push it. Think of it as a fishing bobbin, and it just kind of floats out there and doesn't move until either waves or something else causes it to move. So here's a look. Well, let's go ahead and look at this one. All right, here we go. So we're going to start with the GFS. Remember, the GFS yesterday brought this into Haiti. Well, now you've got tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, look at that, into Jamaica. The GFS has finally come to its senses. Yet again, the euro wins, and the GFS is an afterthought. It goes right across Jamaica. I mean, guys, this is just, look, this is Sunday morning, 24 hours later, Monday morning, it's still there. Monday night, it's still there. Tuesday morning, it's still there. So for literally 60 hours, this makes landfall right about there, 2 p.m. on Sunday, 2 p.m. on Monday, 2 p.m. on Tuesday. All right, so actually it's about, I take that back, it's about 40 hours that it sits on top of Jamaica, according to the GFS. And then it lifts northeast. It actually splits between Cuba and Haiti, which would be a great path if that's the case. That's and then it goes east of the Turks and Caicos and east. So that's the GFS. But look at the euro. Here's the GFS Monday night at 8 o'clock. Look at the euro Monday night at 8. It's south of Jamaica. GFS, euro. GFS, euro. GFS, euro. So we go back again. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. There's the euro already south. The euro goes more south of the island. The GFS goes right into the island. See that? There's Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. GFS right into Jamaica. The euro south of Jamaica. That's Sunday morning. That's Sunday night. That's Monday morning, still south of Jamaica. Monday night. And then as a 939 millibar Cat 5 hurricane, it moves onshore. 939, 940. Now, the pressure of Gilbert was 888, by the way. So this is nowhere near as strong as Gilbert if the models are right. Gilbert was the strongest hurricane ever to form in the Atlantic Basin. There's Wednesday morning. So you are looking at a storm that goes in landfall around Monday, and even Wednesday, it's still there, and it's a little more toward Guantanamo. The euro brings it right over Guantanamo as a Cat 3 hurricane and clips the Turks and Caicos. The euro is not good news for the Turks and Caicos. It brings it right over them as a Cat 3 hurricane. And then it starts to accelerate and goes out to sea. Here's the euro AI. Euro AI is Sunday, Monday. The euro AI comes ashore as about a 963, not quite as strong. And this also goes Guantanamo, also Turks and Caicos, and then goes north. So there you have it. I mean, that right there, gosh, why did this computer freeze on the Max system and didn't freeze on this one? But yesterday it froze on this one and not on that one. It's got to be this computer because the network looked fine. All right, so let's recap. The models are on all agreement. Let's see if we have a new update, by the way. Hold on. Let's see if the new numbers have come out yet. Let's see. Nope, I don't think we have the new update yet. It should come out any minute. So let's recap, and then we'll answer questions coming in the next round. GFS, Euro, Google, DeepMind. Well, here, I'll show you the Google, by the way. I'll show you the Google DeepMind. So, no, you know what? I'll show you that when we come back from the break. We still have breaks to hit. 90 seconds, we'll be back, and I'll show you all the ensemble runs, and I'll start taking your questions as DPL continues. Okay, that's break 2. Let's see. Where am I getting someone's saying, oh, yeah, be careful, guys. Be careful about talking about the politics and the stuff like that, because that gets you banned. It just will. Hey, Citrus County United Way, how you doing, guys? Nice to see you, George. Yeah, Aruba will be okay. Aruba will be okay. So, not going to do any banning yet, but just remember, okay? Might be right, Steve. Wouldn't put it past him. Flights to Punta Cana on Wednesday, doubtful. Very doubtful. Extremely doubtful. Turks and Caicos, midweek. Midweek, Margie, midweek. Will the mountains have shearing effects? Probably not, because it won't stay on long enough. Okay. Cruises are going to be tricky, Kayla. Cruises, I think they'll go, look, they're going to go around them. I don't think they're going to cancel them, but they're going to be a little bumpy. They're going to be pretty bumpy. Although if it comes in from the north, it'll be okay, because it's not going to cross the islands until Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you have a cruise earlier, you'll probably be okay. All right, we're going to be coming back in. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back. If you're watching on the spot, I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump right into some of the spaghetti models for Melissa. All right. Yeah, Daniel, yeah, I think it's going to be devastating for Jamaica. There's no way around it. I mean, look at the spaghetti models. They all pretty much converge over the island. I just don't think there's any way around it. I try to be a glasses half full kind of guy, but not with this one. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I was talking about the Google, which is right here, the DeepMind. Tons of agreement on the ensembles. This is their ensembles. I mean, and it's just locked in. It's locked in, right? Goes across eastern Cuba, Turks and Caicos, central and eastern Bahamas, avoids Nassau and Abaco, and then pulls out. All right? Let's see. I want to go back and see if the NHC has any update yet. I don't think so. Yeah, there we go. I take that back. So here is the new one, the new update as of 8 o'clock. NOAA and Air Force Reserve hurricane hunters report little change in the last few hours. Life-threatening and catastrophic flash flooding and landslides expected in portions of southern Hispaniola and Jamaica through the weekend. So there it is. Winds of 65 miles an hour moving at 2 miles an hour. Hurricane watch for Haiti and Jamaica. It's not a warning, it is a watch. We'll quickly go over this. Center of the tropical storm was located, blah, blah, turned to the north and northeast is forecast Tuesday and Wednesday. It's going to continue this slow general motion through Monday. On the forecast track, the center of Melissa expected to move near or over Jamaica early next week and could be near or over eastern Cuba by the middle of next week. Tropical storm force winds extend 140 miles out. So additional heavy rainfall is likely beyond Tuesday. The uncertainty at that time precludes exact storm totals. Catastrophic flash flooding and landslides are possible among Jamaica and the southern Dominican, while catastrophic flash flooding is anticipated in southern Haiti. So guys, this is the real deal. Unfortunately, I don't see any way that this misses Jamaica as a catastrophic hurricane. We said a couple of days ago, if you were there, get out. And if you were thinking of going, don't. I hope you took our advice, because once they shut down the airports there, there's no getting out, and it will be weeks before they get power up in some of that island, I think. This will be the worst hurricane I think that island has ever seen. Not that it will be the strongest, although it could be, but the fact that it's going to sit there for 3 days with all the rain, with the surge upon landfall, and with the 155 mile an hour winds and gusts higher than that. That's Haiti. I'm sorry, that's Jamaica. Eastern Cuba, down to a 2 or a 3 at that point. And show it to you one more time. There it is. Technically, the Hurricane Center is saying Cat 4. It's 1 mile an hour or 2 mile an hour shy of Cat 5. So for all practical purposes, it's a Cat 5. And it's going to sit there for 2 or 3 days. The water is incredibly warm and incredibly deep there. So there's just no way around it. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. So Our thoughts and prayers already go out to folks in Jamaica, go out to eastern Cuba, go out to Haiti, and even go out to the Dominican, because while the Dominican will not get a direct landfall, they're going to get a ton of rain as well. I know a lot of folks were talking about Punta Cana. I was like, why would you want to go when they're going to get 15 inches of rain? They might not get worse of the winds, which they won't, but they're going to get a ton of rain. All right, we'll be back in 90 seconds, and we're going to talk local with our big chill in the air that arrives in 5 days. That as DPL continues. All right, this is our last break. We are going to talk local. Call up the local maps. And I think that will be about it. And I'm going to watch the World Series. So for the folks who are watching from Toronto, you got your work cut out for you. I mean, the Dodgers pitching staff is insane. Their starters, their bullpen's been kind of weak. So if you can get out of their starters into their bullpen, you got a shot. But man, their starters are tough. Okay. Alicia's saying no sound. No, there's sound, Alicia. So Danielle, if you go to Fourth Wall, F-O-U-R-T-H Wall, F-O-U-R-T-H Wall.com, and then search Rule 7 Shop at the top in the bar, you'll see all of our hoodies. Hoodies, zip-ups, tanks, tees, everything, and the proceeds benefit local charities. Okay, we are back in 15 seconds. And then no impacts from the Keys. And then I'm going to answer questions a little bit later as well. All right. We are back in 3, 2. How you doing, everybody? Heat Lightning Round, where I answer your questions and we talk local weather. And here it is. Check it out. I'm going to go ahead and take this full. This is the forecast for Tampa for the next 2 weeks. And look at next Wednesday and look at Thursday and Halloween, a high of 72 degrees. How about that, as Mel Allen used to say? 72 degrees Saturday, matter of fact, look at the highs for the entire following week. In the 70s. How about that? For trick-or-treaters, they're actually going to get some decent weather. All right, here is Wednesday morning of next week. Start to see the cool air come in with the second front, all right? There's Wednesday afternoon. There's Wednesday night in the 60s and 70s. Here is Thursday morning at 8 a.m., 40s and 50s. Highs on Thursday morning in the 60s and 70s. Halloween morning, lows in the 40s and 50s. Halloween afternoon, highs in the 60s and 70s. So some beautiful, beautiful weather continues for the trick-or-treaters. If you're watching on the spot, thank you so very much. We're going to continue on social answering your questions. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching DPL. And we are out on TV. All right, so let's go back, show you the other graphics. Yes, part of this is from Melissa. Red, part of it is. It's also from a secondary low, which I will show you. But anyway, there's the cool air. That's next Friday. Next Saturday morning, look at those low 40s, even mid 40s in Hillsborough County. And then Sunday morning, we're back to 50s. Monday morning, we're back to 60s. Tuesday morning, another front comes in. Let's go ahead and look at that, shall we? All right. Here's a look at the GFS. Now, you get this little area of low pressure that's going to develop next Tuesday. See that one off the coast down here, down off the coast of Florida? That's the GFS. Look at the Euro. Pretty close. Not quite identical, but pretty close. Margie, I don't know if devastation's the right. Still freezing. Restream all feeds. Okay. I'm just letting people know. Okay. We're back. All right. So, but apparently we're going to get this computer switched out on Monday. So I'm telling you guys, it's almost there. We're almost ready to get it fixed. I wasn't saying anything. When I saw we were frozen, I just sat here because I'm like, I'm going to wait till we unfreeze, and then we'll talk. All right. So let's go back and try to take it again. See what happens this time. But yeah, I looked. It was freezing. Restream was in black. So that freeze is not a Facebook thing, because they were saying that it's just Facebook or Insta. No, it is not. It is all social platforms, because Restream was in black. All right? Okay. So, like I was saying, both of them have low pressure, but look at this upper low that digs all the way into Florida. Look at that. It's over the plains. Look at this one right here. It's over the plains. Look at it dig all the way down. It's crazy. And then 540 line digs into Virginia, long range, and a big, look at, oh wow, big snowstorm on the 8th of November in Maine. But here's the Euro. So here's the Euro again. Also, look at that low. Digs in just like the GFS does. Now the GFS digs deeper. See it right here? Hold on, let me highlight this for you. Am I red? No, we're still green. So there's your up, there's your low right there, okay? The GFS has one too, but just not nearly as strong. There's the GFS, there's the Euro. GFS, Euro, but pretty close. Euro, there's your hurricane. Euro lifts north and swings all that cold air down behind it. And then another, look at the 540 line in Virginia on the 3rd. Oh, wow, look at that big coastal storm the Euro develops. Another kind of a nor'easter. Holy cow. Where's Sean? The 540 line goes to South Carolina on the 6th of November. If you don't know what the 540 line is, it's the freezing line. Look at that 540 line. My, oh my. Yeah, Bill, I was showing the deep mind spaghetti model. I'll show it to you again. Bill said he wanted to see the deep mind. All right, yeah, where is it? I think it's right here. Yeah, right here. There's the deep mind. So there it is. You too, Prudy. Up, tell her to enjoy Halloween Horror Nights. That's always a fun event. Jules wants to know how cold she's going to be in Pittsburgh Monday and Tuesday. All right, well, let's look, Jules. Let's look. There's your 540 right there. Oh, you'll probably see highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. That's kind of what that looks like to me. Let's see what the NWS says. I say highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. NWS says, it's always fun. I always like to give the forecast and then see what they say. Highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. I used to predict weather for that area. That was in my old stomping grounds in my Penn State days. Yeah, highs in the mid-50s, lows in the mid to upper 30s. So there you go. There you go, Jules. All right. Well, this upcoming cold front cool the Gulf off. Oh, yes. You know what? That is a great question, and that's something you don't normally, I'm going to go watch a baseball game. You don't normally hear me say this. In my opinion, after this storm, it's over. In my opinion, IMO, in my opinion, after Melissa's done, it's over. Nothing else. No other threats. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. When did it snow in Florida? That would be last year. It snowed almost a foot last year in Pensacola. So yeah, it definitely did. It snowed a lot up there. That was fun, wasn't it? And I would have loved to have gone up for that. I had to work. I don't think I could get up there. Look, I know people move down here because they want to get away from the snow, but that was a fun event. I mean, seeing almost a foot of snow in Florida, I enjoyed it. I thought that was fun. Wait a minute. What am I going to be wrong about? Wait a minute. Zach, what am I wrong about? All right, a hurricane hit. Did I say a hurricane would hit the Gulf, or did I say there would be a hurricane form in the Caribbean, Zach? Zach. By the way, I went back and looked. So there was Barry earlier this year that went into Mexico, didn't go into Texas. I could not find the last time there was not any landfalling hurricane or tropical storm in the Gulf in the entire season. In the entire season. So, I don't know if it's, I was trying to find, I was looking, and I could not find a year where there was not at least a single tropical storm in the Gulf to make landfall. Now, Barry went across the Yucatan, wasn't even a tropical storm, it was a bunch of nonsense, but technically it did get a name. But yes, exactly, Carol. The word that I used is I would be flabbergasted if there was not a hurricane that developed in the Caribbean, and a big one at that. Those were my exact words, flabbergasted, because I like that word. I did not say the Gulf, but I think I might have said when they form in the Caribbean, they usually go in the Gulf. But as we know, looking at, where is it? This map right here, which is the map that we like to show. Yeah, I know we have another month to go, but I'm just saying, I do think this is done. I do. I think after this storm, we're done. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. Anyway, this is what normally happens, and we know what we said is they curve when they come in this general direction, they curve into Florida, 100%. That's what they usually do. But in this case, this didn't form here. This formed here. This is the wave that came all the way across and developed right here and went, in that general part of the Caribbean. So this technically wasn't even a homegrown system, which still flabbergasts me. So, anyway, yeah, but the fact that there's going to be such a strong cold front and another front based on what we're seeing 10 days out, it seems pretty unlikely. I mean, that's what I'll say. My call is, and I might be wrong, I'm not, whatever. I think we're done after this. I mean, might there be something in the middle of the Atlantic that goes in the North Atlantic toward the Azores or something? Sure. So let me rephrase. In my opinion, this will be the last tropical system that's going to threaten the U.S. for this year. That's probably a more realistic. I mean, and look, I'm not really going out much on a limb because look at the long range. Let's call up the long range, shall we? Let's do it. Let's go in and see if it freezes on me. Let's go into the tropical Atlantic, all right? Now let's see. Let's see, all right? We'll even look at the GFS, which predicts there's always going to be a hurricane. It always predicts a hurricane, but we're going to go ahead and see what the GFS shows. Because it probably will show something because it always does, right? Okay, here is the long-range GFS. Let's look. We have Melissa. It's going to be awful, just horrible. All right, Yeah, and then we got, see, that's what I'm saying. Look at this thing out here. It's connected to a front. It shouldn't get named, but who knows what the Hurricane Center will do. All right, we're still looking. Caribbean, nothing. Caribbean, nothing. Caribbean, nothing. Caribbean, nothing. 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 Maybe a little something down here, but nothing. Well, it does. It's trying. That's November. When is that? That's November. When is that? 9th. November 9th. It's trying. It is trying to do a little something there along that stalled out front. So, hey, that's the GFS. Let's look at the Euro, though. And let's see if your friend in mine, the Euro, shows the same thing. Okay. Euro. See, why are we not in red on now? I just don't understand why it freezes sometimes. It's just the weirdest thing. Okay, here's the Euro. Still loading. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. It does have that little down there, though. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Look how far south that front goes. I mean, look, that front goes into Central America. I'm sticking to it. We ain't going to get any more tropical storms or hurricanes that are going to threaten the U.S. whatsoever right through the end of the season. It's over after Melissa. That's what I'm going with. Okay, guys, I'm going to go watch baseball. Thoughts and prayers to everybody in Jamaica. I know there's some folks here who are watching from Jamaica, and they follow us as well. We'll be posting, as always. And Monday, the storm will have already been, might even make landfall Monday, so we'll obviously be back on Monday. We'll be posting updates as well. Hopefully the computer will be up and running so we can not have to stop in the middle with all the red lights and everything else. But yeah, so you guys have a good night. And Greg and I and Jason will be updating, Allie will be updating throughout the weekend. So we'll keep you up to date on what's going on. And for us, our next big weather change is the middle of next week when we're going to get that cold front just in time for Halloween. How about that? Have a great night, and we will see you on Monday night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Thanks for watching, guys.